Oh,
Are you ready?
would you like me to turn it on because it's on now?
Are you
Yes,
ready?
I'm ready.
Why don't we turn it on? Thank you,
Okay,
Jessica.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Can you do your introduction?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to Seeking Better Government. I'm your host, Dennis Henry, and with me today again is Carolyn Crane. Welcome, Carolyn.
Hi, Dennis.
We've had some exciting discussions going on in Clark County and the city of Vancouver the last couple weeks, and mainly centered, even in Olympia, around the CRC, the Columbia River Crossing Project. What is it that project attempts to do?
Oh my goodness. What are they telling the people that it's going to do?
That's a good start.
Okay. Well, they're telling the people that they will, reduce traffic congestion. That was one of the major primary purposes, was to reduce traffic congestion by building this bridge and bringing light rail connecting Vancouver downtown and the Clark College area to the MAX lines that are already up and running in Portland. That, I think, is honestly the primary goal. Although, originally they claimed it was a new bridge was the goal. Mm-hmm. It is obvious with all of the ODOT reports and everything else regarding seismic activity and the condition of the bridge as it exists, that a new bridge isn't necessary based on failing factors. There are none. Congestion is an issue.
So the congestion that they're talking about, and this project, as far as I am aware, started back in the early 90s, easily, and may have been talked of before then, as far as third bridge possibilities, going back to even when the Mount Hood Freeway was shut down in 1977 by the citizens of Portland and the state of Oregon. The concern is the number of people using the bridge on a daily basis, and that is traffic that is through traffic that's going north and south past Portland, past Vancouver, and then the more local traffic, which branches off now to Hillsborough and to Washington County and to Clackamas County, where there are only 2 points of entrance right now across the Columbia River, one being the I-205 bridge, the other being the interstate bridge. So congestion, if traffic continued to grow a pace of the 1970s, would definitely be an issue. But isn't it true that in the last 5 years, 10 years, that traffic has actually declined?
It absolutely is true. The last traffic studies that they based their final environmental impact statement on were from 2005. So 8 years ago. And in that time, our traffic has decreased. And the forecasts for that are not to actually increase. We have more telecommuting, people that leave their bedroom, maybe change their jammies, maybe they don't, and pour their coffee and walk into the other room and sit down in front of their computer and click on and say, "Good morning, boss."
Let's do that again, because my I think interrupted everything.
I think you were fine.
Okay, but people wake up in their bedrooms in their jammies.
Well, one
and maybe
would
they
hope.
change them, and maybe they don't. And what was the rest of that statement?
And then they walk in and they pour their coffee and go into the other room. Their commute is really long here. I want you to follow this, depending on the size of the house.
Depending on the size of the coffee.
And go into the other room and sit down at their computer and turn on their computer and say, "Good morning, boss." And they do their work from home. We see more and more and more of that, and it is the trend for the future for a lot of engineering, architectural, lots of data entry, lots of jobs that are computerized jobs. As you look across the country, you see it in huge promotions by government in huge amounts in different areas. In Phoenix, the city of Phoenix and the state of Arizona and the county of Pima have gone out of their way to incentivize the program. Work 4 10-hour days, rotating on a Monday or a Friday. Only 50% of the staff will ever be in an office for the government on a Monday or a Friday. And one of those 3 or 4 days or 3 days in the middle will be a telecommute day, and you don't commute anywhere. So at any given time in the middle of the week, as many as 2/3 of the people are not at work that day at the office. That reduces congestion.
Sure.
They're working at home, and every keystroke is accountable for.
So, but that's not going to take, all the commuters.
No, but in a city the size of Phoenix, it certainly did a heck of a good job of congestion reduction. It's amazing what it did. And pollution reduction. It was amazing what it did.
So now, are those studies on the U.S. website or the Arizona DOT or?
I'm not really sure. I'll put it to you this way. My husband's cousin happens to be the head of the Department of Transportation for the city of Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
And so I get a lot of long conversations about these issues.
Sure.
Firsthand, this man does exactly that for a living.
So what you're saying isn't exactly hearsay, but
It's not. It's what he does for a living. It's what he knows for a job. He was part of the policy implementation. Recognizing, and they're currently in the process of changing over to,
so
biodiesel equipment and things like that. And he's
Similar.
part of all that policy.
similar to what Brazil has done.
Yeah, he's
Cleaner,
part of all
better
that policy.
smelling.
So I'm looking at a city right here that's
Sure.
one of the largest cities in the United States of America, much bigger, massively bigger than Vancouver, Washington, even Vancouver, Portland metropolitan area.
Sure.
And seeing what the trends are in these environments for future and what they're doing. And you know that we're just going to do the same thing. We are.
I don't know that.
I do know that.
But just for a moment, is your name Harrison?
Yes.
Harrison, I'm Dennis.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And I'm saying this in my voice on stage, so even though it's on camera, we can edit that out. But welcome. This is Jim Main's video guy.
Hi.
Harrison, this is Carolyn Crane.
It's a pleasure.
So
That-
can you run the camera?
I think if you show him how to do the basic stuff, that he's more than competent. He could probably figure out more than I could.
Okay, well, it's set, so you don't have to do anything, you can leave it alone. And then,
So does that cut him down to 2 contacts?